Excellent work. Your father would be proud of you. Having already interrogated the guests, Detective O'Reilly is now discussing the murder with the staff members as they leave the party. It would be best if you don't interfere.
Hi, Miss Bowe. I'm Ernie Leach. Dr. Carrington told me you could stay a while and talk to the staff. I've got to lock the doors, so just come and find me when you're ready to leave. Dr. C also has a key, but you don't want to bother him about that.
Thank you, Mr. Leach.
Just be careful where you go. Wolf will get upset if he finds you downstairs. See you later.
Did you manage to learn anything from your interviews, Detective O'Reilly?
Don't bother your little head about it, lass.
It's my job, sir.
This is an official murder investigation, Miss Bowe. Do not be interfering.
Oh, I don't mean to interfere. I just want to know what's going on. Any leads so far?
Dr. Carter died as the result of someone sticking a gift shop dagger in his chest. What more do you need to know?
Well, for one thing, who did it?
Someone who didn't like him, that's my guess.
Brilliant deduction.
If you think that you can do better.
I can try.
Oh, wunderbar. Now we've got the amateurs involved.
I may not be a detective, but I'm terribly clever. I've solved murders before.
Just stay out of me way, lass, and don't destroy the evidence.
Certainly not.
Yeah. Humph.
The museum doors are locked. This door is locked.
I don't have time for idle chat, lass. Oh, he's an okay fella, I suppose. I haven't spent much time with the man. Bones? Don't talk to me about bones. I've seen enough of the bloody things to last me a lifetime. And where did you find that thing, then?
I found it in the Egyptian exhibit.
You wouldn't be disturbing the evidence at the crime scenes now, would you, lass?
Well,
I certainly hope not, because I'd have to be putting you away for tampering with evidence.
oh, I certainly wouldn't want to tamper with evidence, sir.
I should hope not. Lass, I've better things to do than to read the notes of some silly old pottery chaser who ended up with a letter opener in his chest. Don't try to read those Egyptian squiggles, lass. They'll rot your brain.
Art is Work by Fra Boberto Glisoni, painted in 1492, commissioned by Queen Isabella to keep him busy finding a new way to paint instead of discovering the New World so that Christopher Columbus could do it instead. One of the many paintings in Michelangelo's Battle of the Nudes series. Two Brothers Drinking in a Tavern by Rick Morgan, Dutch master, 1444. The swirling brushstrokes are characteristic of the Morgan school of painting. The cracking of the paint is characteristic of age. Examining the painting carefully, you notice that some of the strong-smelling paint looks smeared. You closely inspect the nudes in Michelangelo's paintings, admiring his studies of the human form. These paintings were completed while he was still learning his trade as the apprentice to a great artist you've probably never heard of. The features of the ballerina are accurate to the tiniest of details. It's one of seeming billions of ballerina sculptures that were made by Dagger, who was something of a ballerina fancier. A fine example of neo-quasi-Italian Renaissance sculpture by Alberto Ravioli. Sculpted in 1525, the humanoid statue is called, appropriately enough, Ruminations on Death and Dismemberment. The humanoid sculpture is not accurate to the tiniest of details. In fact, you aren't even sure what the details are. Alberto Ravioli was still new at sculpting when he created this particular figure. A close look makes it clear that this artist was fond of chocolate. There are chocolate chips embedded in the paint. Trouble on Two Legs by Dennis Lewis, date unknown. Painting discovered in an attic near Bordeaux, France, hidden behind a case of chocolate. Cart Before the Horse by Susetto Live in Godoni, 1481. Although the paint is old and cracking, the spirit of the artist can still be seen in the bold strokes made by the paintbrush. The oil paint on the canvas is old and cracked, but you can still see the characteristic brush strokes of Anonymous Bosch, who painted with human bones instead of brushes. A typical light-hearted painting by Anonymous Bosch called A Heartwarming Story, depicting dead humans being tormented by skeletons and demons in hell. Portrait of a Young Man by Marcello Fleming, Italian master, 1550. It's amazing that you can still smell the slight odor of oil paint on this canvas, as if it were painted only a week ago. Perhaps the previous owners took excellent care of the painting to preserve its delicate beauty. At close range, you notice the strong smell of oil paint. Despite the age of the painting, it seems to be in marvelous condition, as if it were painted only yesterday. Musings on Cyberspace by John Wentworth, the Flemish master, painted in 1533. A marble bench, provided so that patrons can sit and ponder the amount of culture oozing through the air of this room. This is the Old Masters Gallery. You marvel at the stylish architectural embellishments which festoon the border where the wall meets the ceiling. It's too high to see with a magnifying glass. You magnify the importance of the old master's gallery. The bench is made of highly polished, white Carrara marble. Good evening, Countess.
Good evening, Miss Bow. Well, I do wish they wouldn't let the handyman in during social functions. He's not even dressed properly. Oh, could that be some of that cute little Egyptian writing? How charming!
One of the skeletons in the Bosch painting appears to be holding an object that glints in the light.